Chick Hell.
Banner of the land.
Morning, how are you?
I also made a small beginning via
Morning, sir.
LNT.
Okay.
These are like ancient times, you know. It was built with precast elements. And the challenge was, I think.
Before you joined railways.
That's right. While I was, that is how it was. But LNT was also a big draw for me. I thought a while. Ultimately, my father prevailed. You know, an old government. No, you should get
Must have been 68, 69?
much earlier. Much earlier. 60, 1960. I passed out from Kakinada in 56, civil. Spent some time, very short spell in Chennai. Hyderabad, that Muhurat culture doesn't seem to
For that,
sit
there is no culture of timing.
particularly, I know, at least in weddings, I thought, when you say this is a muhurt, there is some sanctity about it. It's okay. Traffic है, आप आ रहे हैं, यहाँ बैठिए, आप चाय पिएंगे. Nobody else is there.
Really attendance was.
Then I realized that you shouldn't just go and embarrass yourself by being too much on time.
That is, I think, community specific.
And Muhurta and food also starts at the same time.
Tiffin is there.
It is in our farm. So we, this in sessions or the dance along with this thing of this order. That's no matter what.
I was stuck.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Mr. V.S. Rao, Mr. V.S. Rao.
Morning, sir.
I first welcome and invite Mr. V.V. Gadgil, our chief guest, chief executive and MD of Hyderabad Metro Rail. Please come. I invite Mr. D.S. Rao, who is chairman of IRSPL, to come on the dais and take the seat. I invite Mr. Sunil Srivastava to come on the dais and take the seat. I also invite Dr. Gounden, Dean of Academic Affairs, to come and I think before we start our program, it is our endeavor duty to thank God and with the initiation of this particular session by lighting a lamp. So first I'll invite Mr. All four on the dais to come and ignite the lamp. Just Mr. Gandhi.
More harder.
I now invite Mr. Sunil to welcome Mr. Sunil.
Good morning, friends, and special good morning to Mr. Gadgil for taking the time out. Mr. Gadgil, I'm sure, needs no introduction. You would have seen his face virtually for the past 1 year, almost on a regular basis in the newspapers or on the television channels. He is the face of L&T Metro. So I don't think so I need to give any more introduction about Mr. Gadgil. But then just to briefly recap, yes, he's a stalwart from the L&T group. He's been their major force, or rather I would say he's actually ruled the Gulf states before coming to Hyderabad, has built landmark projects there, and we hope that he'll replicate that same success in our city here. We are really happy that, yes, he's taken the time off to be with us here. It gives us a lot of encouragement, since this course which we are starting is primarily aimed at the rail and metro sector. So his presence here is very encouraging for all of us here at IMRT. And I think this association will only grow from here. We hope that, yes, all of you present here enjoy and actually learn through this program. And we have many more such programs, longer duration, more specific programs for this. Thanks once again to Mr. Gadgil, and very warm welcome to him to be here with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil. I'll just give a brief of the development of how IMRT has come into existence. While working for Delhi Underground Section of Metro in 2000-2001, there is an acute shortage of metro rail engineers in the country. And virtually, we had pull out and motivate the people to come and work on the project. And since that day onward, slowly we have built our capabilities to develop metro rail sectors. National Urban Transport Policy says that we have to now plan for mass rapid transit systems all over the country with the cities which have population more than 10 lakhs and which are more than 20 lakhs. We have definitely to go for metro rail systems. And keeping that in view, we must have seen that more than 10 to 12, almost a dozen metro projects are on the either in the execution stage or already executed and are in operation, or they are on the drawing board stage. But there is no such institute in the country which imparts a formal education into the metro and rail system, except that Indian Railways trains their people or the engineers for their own requirements. And with our estimates, we found there is a huge requirements. It is not only in this country, but if you look at it, the countries around India like Gulf, even the European countries are facing a crunch of metro rail engineers. With this in view, we thought that can we do something with a vast experience of Barsil working in the railway sector in the training and education. And that is how IMRT, almost about 1 year back, came into existence. Our objective is to work with all the stakeholders who are working in the metro rail sector, like the ministries, state governments, local self-governments, urban local bodies, contractors, designers, and the bankers, and try to involve them in the entire process so that there is a one nodal agency who can steer the growth of metro rail systems in the country. Though Institute of Urban Transport is a nodal agency working under the Ministry of Urban Development to steer this thing, but we have also done an MOU with IUT to carry on certain capacity building programs, and we are working for that. Now IMRT, we have chosen Hyderabad as a strategic location to have this institute here, because most of the technical institutes are there in the southern region. We can take even Bombay, Maharashtra, and other places also the part of the southern region for that matter. And so because of a huge technical resource and reserve available here, and many of the large metro projects are coming now in the southern India. So we thought it is the best location, it is a good city and a vibrant city. And incidentally, we found L&T Hyderabad as one of the keen partners to help us or to build a partnership with us to the skill development in this particular field. Vivek and myself have been colleagues long back in L&T, and we have come together again in Hyderabad to make this venture a success. Our objective finally is to create a center of excellence, a knowledge center in metro transport or mass rapid transit system, especially the metro rail system. We also have intention to go into the mainline railways, high-speed rail, and other systems, but that will take on a little later. So we have started this short-term executive development programs first with the introduction to metro rail systems, because it is a very, very complex kind of a project, infrastructure project, wherein system integration and interface management is very, very difficult to understand. A civil engineer or signal telecommunication engineer or electrical engineer, they need to come together to understand the need of to make the project successful. And it doesn't work to work in the separate compartment, but ultimately you have to work together, and therefore the issues are much, much bigger, and the project becomes much more complicated and complex. Therefore, we have started this introduction to metro rail systems. It is a starting course. Then we'll be going into the specialized courses of, say, signal telecommunication, rolling stock, say electrification, or civil structures, tunneling, health, safety, environment, ramps, reliability engineering. Those kind of things will be shortly taken up. We are also planning to start a 1-year PG program in the month of July in Hyderabad, wherein we'll take the graduate engineers from the market, say maybe about 20-25, and take them to rigorous training and development for 1 year, and then try to place them into various stakeholders. So these are some of the landscape which I have described you. With this thing, and we are getting a very active support from Mr. Gadgil. I have been getting guidance from him, because he is one person in the landscape of infrastructure sector in India who actually feels that the skill has to build up at a grassroots level. You don't require managers to be, you require managers, fine, but then you require active engineers who can translate the dreams into the realities. And that is what, we have a common vision and common thinking. And with this support from him, I think we have a good future and future for India to develop the infrastructure of this country. With this, I invite Mr. Gadgil to say a few words and share his views on it. Thank you.
Mr. Rao, Mr. Srivastav, Mr. Gondran, my friend Mr. Gyan Prakash, and all the participants for this particular learning program, and the other members of IMRT and the invitees. A very good morning. And first of all, I would like to extend my hearty compliment to IMRT for starting and taking this initiative a step forward. It's really my privilege to be here today for this inaugural session of this program of Introduction to Metro Rail System. It has been quite some time that myself and Mr. Gyan Prakash, we have been deliberating on this particular issue of training. I will deal these things very briefly because the program has to go on. But first of all, really I am very happy that such a program or such a learning initiative has been started by IMRT. One thing I would like to tell all of you, and which I shared with Mr. Gyan Prakash right in the morning, that first of all I was extremely happy and excited by the name of the organizers itself, Institute of Metro Rail Technology. This technology word really excites me, because today there is a weather in the country that whichever institute you start for whatever subject, somehow everybody feels that there has to be a word of management there. I have nothing against management or managerial cadre or anything, but somewhere that core competence on technology takes a backseat. And that is where I got a serious objection. And that is why I said that it is extremely nice to see that somebody at least says that yes, we are going to be the technocrats. Because finally for anything to build, apart from management, the core competence of technology has to be there. The word management itself, you cannot manage anything unless you have core competence. And that is the reason I am extremely happy that at least we will have people who will be trained, who will have the passion for their profession. Secondly, I will come to the exciting scope availability or the growth potential available in the country at the moment. As you know, that India, we are all Indians. So sometimes I may sound a little critical, but I am part of that. I am part of the problem, and I would also like to be part of the solution. So don't think that I am outside the boxing ring. I am in the boxing ring. So whatever I criticize is for myself also. India, we always go through different phases. Sometimes it is very gloomy. Sometimes it is encouraging. Sometimes it is over-encouraging. But one thing I have seen in my professional life of last 40 years, that whatever speed at which we grow, of course is not good. But once it starts, it takes place. And India has got that resilience, I always keep on telling, in any field, whether it is economy, whether it is social engineering, whether it is in technology. We have enough capacity to absorb, quickly absorb, deal with the problem, ponder over it, and go for it. And that is what I keep on telling because I have been operating in international market for quite some time. But I used to tell all my foreign friends that you should have patience in India. That is our culture. It will happen. It is not like that you come, settle for a meeting and be done with it. It doesn't happen. Unfortunately, that is our culture. We are going through a very exciting phase, in my opinion. Don't look at what happened last 2 years or last 3 years, or what is likely to happen next couple of years. But in my opinion, India is going through a very exciting phase. And there is going to be enough growth potential for all the industries to come. I will just touch upon that it was in 1970 actually we lost our track somewhere, late 70s or 70s, that when the industrial revolution bypassed India and went from west to east, and we lost on manufacturing. And then it went, that is history actually. It went to Japan from Europe, it went from Japan to Korea, Korea to Taiwan, Taiwan to China, and it is only after 1990, after some prudence from the government, that economy was opened up